Okay, so now we're going to show you the midpoint formula. The midpoint formula is a little bit different because most of our formulas are equations, but this is not an equation. Let's say we have a point right here, and let's say our friend lives over here, okay? And we're birds, and so we want to fly, this bird wants to fly to see this bird, and they're going to meet like halfway in the middle, and we want to find where that halfway point is. So if I have this line segment, I could try to eyeball it. Yeah, it looks like it's about there maybe, okay? But you can find exactly what the midpoint is by using the midpoint formula. Okay, now to do that, we're going to have coordinates for this point. We're going to say x sub 1 comma y sub 1. And then we'll have coordinates for this point, x sub 2, y sub 2. And the midpoint formula says this. The midpoint, it's going to be an ordered pair because you're trying to find a point. You're not trying to find distance or something, or it's not going to equal something. It's actually going to be an ordered pair. And what you do is you're like averaging the x values. So you take x1, x sub 1 plus x sub 2 and divide that by 2 because you're taking like an average. And then you're going to do the same thing with the y's. Y sub 1 plus y sub 2. And then you're going to divide that by 2. So I should write that a little bit bigger. X sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. That'll be the first coordinate. And then y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2, that'll be the second coordinate, and then that'll give you the midpoint. Now, because I drew this on a piece of graph paper, I actually know these values, right? This point right here is negative 3 comma 1, and this point up here looks like 4, 4. So let's test it and see how we did. If I take x sub 1, that would be negative 3, plus x sub 2, which is 4. And then if I take y sub 1, which is 1, plus y sub 2, which is 4, and then I can figure this out. I'm going to get 1/2 for the x value and 5/2 for the y value. Now let's see when I drew that little orange dot that I thought was about halfway, see how close I am. So 1/2 would be like, between 0 and 1, and 2.5. Looks like well, I was fairly close, if you draw your dot big enough. But that would be then the midpoint right there at the coordinates 1/2 comma 5/2. 5/2 is 2.5. Okay, we're going to show you another example of how to do this.